translator. 1 year since the Russian invasion of Ukraine, this couple has unwavering confidence in their homeland and ubiquitous support from their new home here.
We're
going to have victory, and there's no doubt in this.
The couple tells me they evacuated their hometown of now Russian-controlled Melitopol and have been in Chicago since fall, a home away from home.
He feels like this is home. He said when he walks down the street and hears Ukrainian, his heart is so full.
Unified in song with candles in hand, students at St. Nicholas Cathedral School sang the Ukrainian national anthem today. The school has welcomed nearly 100 children who evacuated the war-torn nation.
It shouldn't be forgotten just because of how long it's been. It actually makes it even worse, the fact that it's been this long and it's still going.
And at Ann's Bakery and Deli, owner Volodymyr Shiri says this conflict tears at his heart.
I'm so upset. Because, young people dying for nothing.
Now, a separate prayer service is happening later this evening at 7:30 at St. Nicholas Ukrainian Catholic Cathedral. That service is being led by Cardinal Blaise Supich. We're in Ukrainian Village. I'm Christian Picos, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Christian, thank you. ComEd crew staying busy today, trying to finish restoring power to customers knocked offline by Wednesday's ice storm. At last check tonight, ComEd reporting a little more than 7,000 people still in the dark. The hardest hit area still out in Rockford, so those numbers come way down on those power outages.
Yeah, a lot of people are out there working, and it's cold out there for the ComEd crews. As we look at a live picture on this Friday, it looks really nice out there and just sparkly. It's cold, 25 degrees at 7:05 on this Friday, but hang there because 20 hours from now will be a lot different. We've made it through another work week together, Cheryl.
Yes.
And perfect timing with your forecast for the weekend.
Yeah, we're going to have a few light snow flurries moving through tonight, but we dry out nicely, and in time for the weekend, we get our temperatures warming because it's another frigid Friday for us with temps in the 20s, feeling like it's in the teens. Live Doppler 7 Max right now painting some light moisture, and a lot of this not even reaching the surface. We have those streaks of darker blue. That's the potential where we're beginning to see some light flakes beginning to fly. But again, this is a very weak system. Have to increase the moisture to really get this going. Back to the west, moving in across parts of I-39 is where we're going to see that flurry action really get going here. We're not expecting this to really accumulate or cause any travel issues as we head into the evening. Just don't be surprised to see some snowflakes flying around, mostly cloudy skies, some scattered snow over the next 1 to 2 hours. By about 3 in the morning, gradual clearing. So tomorrow morning, we wake up with some sunshine and temperatures on the rise as we head through our Saturday and into the day on Sunday. And there you go, our snowcast really painting whole terms of snow accumulation for tonight. So that's a good thing. But by Monday, guys, we do have a strong storm system that will be moving in with periods of heavy rain and high wind. So we'll cover that in just a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Cheryl, thank you. Now the search tonight for 2 suspects continues after a pregnant woman was carjacked and run over in her very own driveway in Libertyville. Police say the mother had just carried one of her children into the house yesterday as she was coming back to get her. 2 men drove up in a white BMW and attacked her. One of the suspects took off in her Volkswagen with her toddler still inside. The 2-year-old was later found at a parking lot in Waukegan unharmed. The woman is now recovering in the hospital. Her stolen Volkswagen was also later found. Police say the BMW the suspects were in was also stolen just a week ago. That car is still missing tonight and apparently with no license plates.
Man charged in connection with the murder of Chicago police officer Ella French wants to be released from jail. French was shot and killed during a traffic stop in August of 2021. Eric Morgan facing weapons and other charges. His brother's charged with her murder. Morgan's attorney is asking for bail, saying his client doesn't have a history of violating bail.
And nearly a month after a deadly fire in a Kenwood high-rise, we have learned that the name of the woman who died. The Cook County Medical Examiner says that 81-year-old Ora Louise Childs died when flames and smoke engulfed a portion of Harper Square Co-op. back in January of 25. 9 others were injured. The fire was ruled accidental, but dozens of residents are still living elsewhere pending the outcome of a court-ordered inspection and repairs.
Chicago police say the same team of thieves hit at least 5 auto shops early yesterday morning, including this one that happened in the Humboldt Park neighborhood. 5 break-ins all happened between 12:15 and 4:20 yesterday morning. Look at this map. You can see all the auto shops are located on the city's west side. Police say the thieves force open overhead doors and then scour the offices inside, taking keys, cash, and diagnostic tools.
Well, this is the last weekend before Chicago's mayoral election.
Turnout in many Latino wards is low, and now the Latino community working together to get more people to vote. Political reporter Craig Wall with more on the effort to motivate voters.
The turnout among Latino voters is historically low, and with a critical election just around the corner, some influential organizations serving Chicago's Latino community are partnering together to educate and energize voters. Volunteers going door to door in the Brighton Park neighborhood this afternoon, part of a coordinated effort in the waning days before the election to reach Latino voters across Chicago.
We aim to knock on 10,000 doors, send 260,000 text messages with voting information, and make about 130,000 phone calls. Getting
out the vote is critical for Latinos. While they make up an estimated 29% of Chicago's population, they only represent about 8% of registered voters in Chicago. There are estimated 130,000 Latinos out of the 1.58 million total registered voters in the city.
Voters cannot afford to sit back. You have the power. We have the power. But we have to use it or lose it in this election.
And while this effort may seem to benefit Jesus Chuy Garcia, the only Latino in the mayor's race whose polling numbers have been dropping, the group say they are nonpartisan. But while early voting numbers are down in many Latino and black wards represented in red, political consultant Frank Calabrese, who has mapped out the early turnout, is seeing strong interest in other parts of the city represented by the green.
As of the end of today, you're going to have about a third of the projected vote that's already in. And the vote is strongest in the 19th Ward, which is Beverly and Mount Greenwood. It's also very strong on the northwest side near O'Hare Airport.
Those areas which traditionally have high turnout are considered Paul Vallis strongholds. But many political observers believe the election will be decided is along the lakefront, where Lori Lightfoot, Chuy Garcia, Brandon Johnson, and Paul Vallis are all competing for votes. Back to you.
All right, Craig, thanks for that. Now we have a reminder, everybody. We will have live coverage of the results on election night beginning at 7 o'clock, wherever you stream, right here, hopefully, as well as ABC 7 Chicago. We will also have live updates on ABC 7 with complete coverage coming your way on Eyewitness News at 10 o'clock. And we are gearing up for
I don't know if you checked your email, so the list is out.
Right.
We're going to have some meetings
All the
next
assignments
week.
are done.
You and I will be sitting here for a long time.
Right, rehearsals, but we're here for you because we want to bring it as the information comes in live time.
Yeah, and we'll have great guests to talk to us. Laura Washington will be back. Our reporters are fanned out in all the close races, all dramatic races. Obviously, the mayor's race will be out at most headquarters, but I'm ready to go.
It's a lot going on.
Yeah. I could do some
Countdown.
studying. Yeah,
I know. All weekend. That's all we're going to be doing is preparing.
My studying. I got a couple more days. Well, today an ICU nurse returned to work after nearly dying in a car crash.
Yeah, remember yesterday, everybody, we told you about Christina Reek's friends and coworkers at Advocate Condo Medical Center in Libertyville. They helped save her life. Now, 4 months later, she is back to saving lives herself.
Just getting scrubs on this morning was such a relief that it just feels like things are back to normal. That I'm going back to work, doing something that I love, putting on these blue scrubs that I, would take for granted before, sticking my badge on, grabbing my stethoscope. Just a really great feeling walking through Condell's emergency room doors again and coming up to the unit where all of my friends, family, and everyone that I love works.
She looks fantastic. It's the little things in life that matter. See, she says her traumatic experience has given her an even deeper appreciation for what her patients go through every single day. I'm
Great
sure.
day for them.
Right.
All those people who helped save her have got to be just emotional.
Like
seeing
she's
her.
here, and
Right.
I mean, putting on your scrubs, getting back to your regular routine that always puts you into the best
Exactly.
place.
Doing normal things after you're very sick or recovering, it means the world.
Right.
And
I know.
clearly she's
We're so happy
enjoying
to
it.
report that too.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure.
Well, the Loop is growing.
Ah.
Yeah, a new report shows more people are living in the Loop than just a few years ago.
That despite the city as a whole losing people. Leah Hope tonight sharing what is behind all these numbers.
Being right in the Loop is exactly what Disha Kumar wanted.
I absolutely love it. Just the people, the lights, the traffic. It intrigues me. So I love staying here.
The nearby banker moved into her Loop apartment 7 months ago, and she is among a growing number of people living in the Loop. The Chicago Loop Alliance reports there were 46,000 residents in the Loop in 2022. That's an increase of 4,000 residents since the 2020 census. Compared to the entire city, according to the 2021 census, the city of Chicago lost over 9,000 residents since 2018. And at a time when the Chicago Loop Alliance reports only 50% office occupancy, it seems the city center is becoming more residential, with 5,000 more residential units expected over the next 5 years.
I think everybody probably heard the stories at the pandemic that people were leaving downtown. It turns out that wasn't really true. The market certainly softened for downtown living, but it's been off the charts for the last year and a half.
Ben Creamer with the Downtown Apartment Company says the demand has been high, even though rents are back to pre-pandemic levels.
It's still important to live close to work to people. Maybe they're not in the office 5 days a week, but 3 days a week. So walkability, convenience, they still want to go in the office, see their coworkers and that. So that's been a large part of it.
For Kumar, she says her rent is pricey, but for her first year in Chicago, it's worth it. In the Loop, Leah Hope, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Interesting data.
I know everybody on the crew here, our producers on the set, we're kind of surprised.
Because businesses, we've lost a lot of businesses from the pandemic, and unfortunately probably because some of the violence that happened over the last few years, but certainly the pandemic. But you heard from some residents who like it down here. I mean, it's beautiful down here.
I do. I love it down
I do
here.
too.
I mean, we're right here on State Street. We're
all the
looking right
time.
now
And it's
outside our
busy.
State Street studios.
Yeah. I mean, there's people out here. There's a show across the street, and people are walking around. The weather is warming up a little bit, but it's nice to see. It is very busy down here.
Right. We're just waving to everybody because our State Street studio is open. We feel like we're just outside going out. Everybody's having a fun Friday night.
Yeah, you got to stay here with
Feel
me,
Good
though.
Friday. Hey, everybody.
We still got 45 minutes to go. We can't go out there just yet.
All right. Well, that's okay. We love being here because it's cold outside, 25 degrees. They're bundled up too. Let's start warm. How about that? How about that? All right. The trip of a lifetime. 3 children getting a chance to head on the field.
Yeah.
The Cubs at spring training. Yes, it's happening.
We've been following these kids since they left Chicago. Okay, an update on that. Also, a lunch with a lesson. Life-saving skills and tools at the annual Go Red for Women event. Judy Sue and me had a chance to be there. We'll tell you more about it.
I like that, lunch with a lesson.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll be right back.
Friday.
Friday.
Yeah. Here we go. Navy Pier looking nice. Look at the Ferris wheel lit up.
I know, you can get in one of those rides because I think they're heated.
It's right. It's not terribly cold in there because it's
kinda
still
romantic.
cold. Yeah, but the cold is leaving us, and we're going to get another weekend of blue skies and comfortable weather for February. How about it?
Like 3 Fridays in a row. It's been Frigid Friday. And then,
right.
Yeah, and then the next day, the whole weekend is just fantastic weekend, wonderful weekend weather.
Yeah, don't change it, Cheryl.
Right.
Yeah, and Cheryl's been taking notes because I truly have been saying Frigid Friday for the past 3 weeks. The cold day has been Friday, but then into our weekends, we've just been really working it out. We've gotten the nice weather, beautiful blue skies, and temperatures warming. And for February looking pretty good and mild, and that's what we like, especially after this week with that powerful storm. But we are looking at another storm that's going to be in early this week with some heavy and gusty winds, but we'll keep the weekend pretty quiet. Right now it is chilly. If you're out and about on this Friday night, you definitely need a few layers. Wind chill right now 14 degrees, so it feels about 10 degrees colder than these actual temperatures. Winds out of the north and east into about the mid to upper 20s. Temps tonight really not dropping, but we are cold enough to support some frozen precipitation, mainly in the form here of very snow flurries, a lot of not even reaching the surface yet. Continuing to watch those surface observations around our area, but as of right now, just mostly cloudy skies with the threat here of some flying snowflakes in the forecast for tonight. This is a weak disturbance that's rolling on in. You can see those streaks of some darker blue, so right around Joliet, crossing over I-80, over towards Peatone, down towards Kankakee, some light flurry, light action happening for you. And then back to the west is where we're finding a better chance here of some falling snow to the surface that's going to cross over I-39 with this weak system that's rolling on through parts of the upper Midwest. So few and far between in terms of light snow tonight, really not anticipating or forecasting issues with area roads. Temperatures are a little bit below freezing, the potential for a few slick spots out there, but not expecting this to really accumulate. A light dusting possible. And then as we head overnight, that snow clears out. In time for tomorrow morning, we wake up with some sunshine. Temps, like I said, really not dropping. So we start off tomorrow near 30 into the afternoon. Temps climb above average. You can see our snowcast really not painting a whole lot in terms of accumulating snow. But like I said, a light dusting of snow not out of mainly on grassy surfaces. If you're encountering some snow, if you're heading out tonight, it could be a little bit slick on some roads, but mainly just damp. As we go into the day tomorrow, we turn those temps up, climbing into the low to mid 40s. We continue with the mild weather as we head through our entire weekend. By Sunday, we're up to 50 degrees, a little bit cooler along the lakefront. By Monday, up to 56, and that comes with our next storm system. So we're going to tap into some warmth as well as some Gulf moisture. So we're looking at a decent amount of rain as we head into early next week. The weekend, rain and snow free as we head into Monday. Very early morning. This all starts up overnight, 4 a.m. Showers start to overspread the area. And as we head into that commute time between about 7 and 11 a.m. we're looking steady rain, even a few rumbles of thunder. It's also going to get quite windy on our Monday. And then by the evening commute, that rain starts to taper, still looking at high gusty winds that will transition in from the north and west. In terms of rain, anywhere from about 1 to 1.5 inches. The ground is saturated. We've seen a decent amount of rainfall this month, and with an additional 1 to 1.5 inches of fall, some isolated flooding. We'll look at those river levels continuing to rise. We'll have to watch out for some flood-prone areas, as well as some ponding on area roads and highways for the morning commute on Monday. So be alert for that. For tonight, a few flurries in the forecast, temps near 30 degrees. We head into our weekend looking gorgeous, focusing on that before Monday. That storm system Tuesday, mostly sunny, 46, and morning drizzle on Wednesday, still in the 50s. We turn a little bit cooler for late next week, 30s and 40s, but for this month, above average, and another beautiful weekend for us, guys.
We like being above average. That's a good
really
place to be.
Overachieving is always good.
Exactly, Cheryl. And it looks great Tuesday for Election Day. 46 and sunny, so that's really important because that's, always a factor.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
No weather hiccups. Everyone can get out and vote.
Yeah.
Good stuff, yeah.
All right, Cheryl, thank you. Now, it is the first Friday during Lent, which means that fish fries, yes, they are back. And we stopped by this one at the Clearing neighborhood. Fish fries became a tradition because many do not eat meat on Fridays during Lent, but it is okay to eat fish, and that all looks delicious, whatever.
Get a little malt vinegar on there.
Fish fries.
Yeah,
you got to put some spaghetti.
A little squirt of lemon.
Ooh, it is the dinner hour. We do this to ourselves all the time. All right. Well, encouraging women to make heart healthy a top priority. That is the goal of the American Heart Association's annual Go Red for Women luncheon.
Event organizers work to educate attendees about health and teach them life-saving skills like CPR.
You have a 10-minute window to really provide that and be able to provide a best chance of survival.
Judy and I emceed this event. It was fabulous.
Yeah.
It will be their 20th year next year. Be the Beat was the theme. We talked a lot about the CPR, and the woman you just saw, Kristen Walenga, shared her story about how she went into cardiac arrest and her children were home and she collapsed. And her 15-year-old boy learned from 7th grade how to do CPR, and he saved her life until paramedics arrived, and now he's 17, and so she shared that story. But we all talked a lot about, and Evelyn Holmes did this story earlier, people of color, particularly women, obviously, right? Heart disease. I mean, heart disease took my father when I was a young boy. But for us, for Hispanics and black people,
Black and brown communities,
we get hit hard by it. This statistic is crazy, and I know you know this. 1 in 3 women die from heart disease, and it is the #1 killer of women, and it's even higher for African American women than white women. But 1 in 3 women will die from it, and then it is kills more women than cancer and all other diseases combined.
I know.
We don't talk about this enough.
The statistics are very scary, and you know they're disturbing too. So you have to really put your heart health in front. And I love the testimonial that you shared, because somebody in that room, that story is going to touch and save another life.
I agree with you. I think,
that
and that's if we can do that 1 year at a time and 1 person at a time. And CPR, the beat we were talking about, Be the Beat, and it's just there's songs you can learn too.
I thought it was Happy Birthday. You sing Happy Birthday
we can do
the whole time.
Yeah, Staying Alive. Another one, Bites the Dust. Baby Shark is actually one.
It's one of the ones.
Yeah, and I was listening to you.
Staying Alive.
At the event. That's the exact. That's what you do. That's what you do. And if you can think about that in your head, if you have to do CPR, that's the repetition you need. And it's no mouth. It's hands-on only. CPR. And so I hear songs sometimes driving home, and I'm like, that would be the
That
one.
would work.
Yeah.
And I heard through the grapevine that Rob and Judy were amazing
we had a lot
hosts
of fun.
today.
Yeah, they do a great job.
I saw the tap dancers, Be the Beat.
Oh yeah,
you know.
Mad Rhythm. Yeah, they were amazing.
They were great too.
Oh, it was a nice
I heard
addition.
you guys did a great job.
G-Man is the auctioneer. We raised a lot of money for a good cause. Michelle, I'm glad you put it in the show. We had some things that we haven't done in the past, and it was awesome. 20 years next year.
And your red tie looks really good.
On,
Looking dapper. Too.
Thank you.
Great job.
Wendy
Great
picked it out.
job.
My wife
Of
picked it
course,
out.
Wendy. Thank you. And Judy too. I know you all looked forward to this, and you enjoy doing it every year together.
Like you said, just talk about it now. Maybe it gets one person to think
message.
about it. And listen to your body.
Right. Always.
Listen to your body.
I know. That's the hardest part.
Especially for ladies, because you all do a lot for us.
Right.
And if you're a mom, take care of the kids and the family, and
work, and
you're tired.
you know,
I'm just going to go to bed. I don't feel right, but maybe in the morning, and then you don't. Something's going on.
Yeah, and all of us, we talked about, have been affected by someone with heart disease. My dad passed away while I was interviewing at Channel 7 30 years ago, and fatally passed away from the heart attack. Never knew I made it. Ever since then, we're on my brother. We always are getting our hearts checked. Because my grandfather died at the same age as my dad from heart disease.
Yeah. We were discussing before the show, every disease pretty much runs in our families. I mean,
but we're still here, and we're still checking on each other.
Ourselves.
We're trying.
Yeah, definitely. Right.
Lots of water, and joy, and laughter, and love. That's good health too. All right, let's talk about something that's love too.
Yeah.
A great update out at Cub Spring Training Camp. Take a look
at these
young people. Yeah, they are the 3 Advocate Children's Hospital patients that we told you about all week long, getting to hang out with the team today. Look at that. The sun is shining. And remember, one of them just wanted a simple autograph.
Right.
That's all they wanted. But all 3 of these young people got plenty of autographs and a whole lot more. They got to hit some balls, run the bases. The Cubs have their first spring training game tomorrow, and they will get to witness it. And you don't know what that does to their soul, to have their dreams come true, uplifted, inspired. inspired and for those players to see what they did for the people.
And here comes baseball.
You know,
it's awesome.
Are you ready for some baseball?
That works, yeah. Because football's done. Well, I think there's that other league going on.
Oh, so
I'm glad we
happy for
shared
these young
that, and they're having a
people.
great time down there. Weather looks good.
Bring some of that warm weather back with you. So it's so nice.
So coming up, businesses, the reasons several neighborhoods are now hosting their own restaurant weeks shortly after Chicago Restaurant Week ended.
But first, the I-Team investigates a costly practice at City Hall. Chicago spending tens of millions on private law firms each year. Why the money seems to go unnoticed and how it hurts survivors of police violence. That's coming up tonight in our I-Team Insider segment. That's coming your way next on the other side of the break. Tonight's I-Team Insider involves a fake that cost every Chicagoan money that is nearly impossible to trace and difficult to explain. In recent years, records show Chicago is spending as much money on outside law firms to defend mostly police misconduct cases as it is on funding its own law department. Well, investigative reporter Chuck Gowdy is here tonight to explain and discuss it all for us. Chuck.
Cheryl, it's a practice that costs Chicago taxpayers nearly $40 million a year. That, some question, as a super costly City Hall shell game. Moving parts, moving money, and moving lawsuit assignments. Why some suits are farmed out to private law firms, even though the city has its own law department budgeted to handle legal problems. Many of the cases involve police violence. Victims say a drawn-out litigation process is traumatic.
Why did you kill my thumb?
6 years later, the pain is still raw. Former officer Lowell Hauser was off duty from the Chicago Police Department when he shot and killed 38-year-old Jose Nieves in 2017. Nieves was not armed. Hauser was convicted of second-degree murder and sentenced to 10 years. The Nieves family sued Hauser and the city of Chicago.
I would rather have a bone-crushing hug from my brother than any money or anything.
A $1.9 million settlement went to the Nieves family and their attorneys, but it took 5 years. An I-Team data analysis shows the city spent nearly $1 million taxpayer dollars on outside law firms to litigate the case.
The city of Chicago is spending millions of dollars defending indefensible cases, and those firms' objective, from what I have seen, is to bill as many hours as they can of taxpayer money versus working to resolve cases.
Through a public records request, the I-Team found that the past 5 years, Chicago forked over about $40 million a year to private firms, instead of hiring more in-house attorneys who would make significantly less money as public employees. We calculated that the entire law department budget is about the same as the total amount the city spends annually on outside law firms.
As soon as I looked at the budget and saw the outside spending
I was like, this is ridiculous.
Mark Flessner was the city of Chicago's top attorney until he was asked to resign by Mayor Lori Lightfoot in 2020. He says he was working to hire more in-house attorneys so taxpayers wouldn't have to spend so much defending the city.
I was working on that big time with the city council members to try to get, because it would save the city $40 to $50 million a year.
Flessner says it costs about 5 times more to send a case to outside counsel than it does to keep it in-house. Funding for private firms doesn't even come out of the law department budget.
It's just a general spending of the city. They play with the city budget and they play with the law department budget, and they're able to say the law department budget is low, and they don't have to account for the outside counsel fees.
Several attorneys we talked to say the city isn't being transparent.
You know the full amount immediately when City Council is approving that will go to the survivor of police violence and their counsel. What hasn't been revealed publicly, what sort of has been in the shadows, is what it's costing the city to defend these lawsuits. So the fact that when we see these headlines, we're only getting a fraction of the story.
City council is not aware of what the law department pays outside counsel.
The public should know how much of their taxpayer dollars are going to defend these cases. And there's got to be a better way to resolve these cases other than wasting taxpayer money and making these families go through years of unnecessary and wasteful litigation.
Some are pushing for the city to adopt a policy where civil rights filings are analyzed to identify cases that could be resolved more quickly.
There is a way that this litigation could be significantly streamlined, and it could save taxpayers millions of dollars. But it would really require the political will to prioritize making survivors whole and to conserve taxpayer dollars.
Betty says a more thoughtful process would have helped the Nieves family.
I wanted my voice to be heard to get justice for my brother.
We wanted the Chicago Law Department to take us inside this process and explain why millions of taxpayer dollars are spent on outside attorneys. They weren't interested in talking about that or whether there are any plans to reduce the use of outside counsel going forward. Cheryl?
Very interesting topic for us tonight. Now, Chuck, what is the staffing situation at the city's law department right now, and why can't officials there fix this problem?
Well, almost 100 staff attorney positions budgeted, and they've got dozens and dozens of openings right now. The reason that they can't fix it, well, it would be easy to say that it's simply because you can make more money at a private law firm, but those who have considered going to work there and have decided not to, and observers of this for many, many years, believe that there's also a toxic environment working not only at City Hall generally, but specifically in the law department, having to handle all these cases, with some of them being farmed out. What may be considered heater cases, the best cases, going to outside counsel.
So, Chuck, who is responsible for making the decision on whether a lawsuit against the city will be handled internally by city staff attorneys or be farmed out, as you said, to private law firms?
This is a little bit like the making of the sausage, Cheryl. You really don't know unless you're on the inside. There is no law as to how all of this happens. It's divvied up around a big round table on a weekly basis. These suits come in and they figure out who's going to handle them, whether it's going to be done by law department attorneys or whether they're going to send some of them across the street to a private law firm. You don't know how it plays out. Sometimes it may just be random, and that's why it's referred to frequently by those who observe this as a shell game.
And you talk about that shell game a lot, Chuck. So the big question is, how does a city department get away with all that money and not have to account for it?
Well, that's what the former corporation counsel we interviewed was asking before he got terminated by the 5th floor of City Hall, the mayor's office. He was trying to get people on the city council to help fix this situation and had some aldermen on his side. And that really is, at the end of the day, how this is going to be fixed, is for the city council to realign how all of this is budgeted, how these line items are laid out, and also then who is going to be accountable for it, calling them before city council committees to answer questions about how much money is spent where, who makes these decisions. For the moment, at least, it really is done in the dark, and the taxpayers have no clue where $40 million or more is being spent.
So revealing, compelling, and eye-opening. Chuck, thank you so much for sharing this information in tonight's I-Team Insider Report.
Thanks, Cheryl.
This is traditionally a slow time of year for restaurants.
And that's why many neighborhoods and some suburbs are hosting their very own restaurant weeks, hoping to get more people out. John Garcia reports.
They're serving up some specials this afternoon at Parsons Chicken and Fish to kick off Restaurant Week in the Andersonville neighborhood. Restaurant owners here have seen the success of Restaurant Week in downtown Chicago over the years. So now several neighborhoods are hosting their own weeks.
It's really great to have a little extra incentive to bring people in when it's, 20 degrees out and you don't necessarily want to go out.
Down the block, Lindsay Anderson's restaurant and wine bar is nearly fully booked with reservations for tonight as well as the rest of the weekend. Like most places, this week she is offering a special prefix 3-course menu special.
Our hopes is it makes people fall in love with us and they come back.
For restaurant owners, the week helps business during what is normally the slowest time of the year for many places.
The one thing that's great about LaGrange is there are no chains. These are all small, independently family-owned restaurants that are very iconic.
In LaGrange, they've been celebrating Restaurant Week now for more than a decade. Following Chicago's lead, they've found it's a great way to attract people to the western suburb with a unique downtown area.
You're hoping they're going to come back. It's up to us then, yeah. We got to be good. We got to be good and we got to bring them back again. That's the whole idea.
In LaGrange, if you bring your receipt from the restaurant to one of the other merchants in town, you'll also get a discount on their merchandise, turning Restaurant Week into an even better deal. In LaGrange, John Garcia, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Notice John had a receipt for that stand-up, which means that John enjoyed perhaps hanging out. Yeah,
It's
reporter involvement for sure.
Pretty clever idea.
I know, right?
For these places to do well in a month that's typically not great for them.
We were very surprised about, we thought it, because Valentine's Day is in the month of February and so many restaurants sell out so early, but that's just
really?
one day, I guess, from the month, and it's cold, you stay home and spend all your money for the holidays.
Because it's going to be warmer and sunny, they'll be out. People are going to sit outside and eat somewhere.
Oh, we get excited when it's like people are going to be playing golf, early.
I saw a guy eating, I think he had some Chinese food. It was over by Chinatown coming to work the other day. And it was when it was like 25 and he's sitting out there.
Oh, see? The sun was shining though, right?
It was.
Yeah, people have their convertible tops down.
That's a Chicago one right there.
We get excited over the small things. For sure. 50 degrees in February is a good thing. Well, a company that started in a garage. Yes, this is a powerful story. Now a multi-million-dollar business. Meet the woman who saw a problem with hair and skin care and then worked to solve it. But first, everybody, let's check in with Cheryl on this Friday. We've been talking about the beautiful weekend weather. What you got, Cheryl?
Yeah, it will be beautiful. We have a few flurries tonight. They'll pass them by. We'll bring out the sunshine for a weekend mixed with some clouds. But the next storm system, it's almost here for Monday. It's going to bring with it heavy rain as well as those high winds. We'll talk about the timing here. It'll likely impact your commute on Monday. All of those details coming up.
seeing a need and creating the product herself. A woman was inspired to launch a hair and skincare line with her husband after struggling to find a product that worked for her.
As we celebrate Black History Month, Val Warner introduces us to the people behind Mayel Organics.
Just short of a decade, married business owners Monique and Melvin Rodriguez grown their hair and skincare company, Mayel Organics, into a multi-million-dollar business.
You were doing this in your garage when you started, and now look at this warehouse.
Look at it. Won't he do it?
As a consumer myself, I saw that there were a slew of products that were out on the shelf, but nothing worked for me and my hair. So that's why I saw this problem, and I said I'm gonna create a solution myself to help my own hair.
After earning a solid place in the beauty industry, last month, the married duo announced that Mayel Organics had been acquired by Procter & Gamble, the corporation behind Pantene, Olay, and Head & Shoulders. This gained controversial responses from customers.
I did have some concerns because we've heard of things like Shea Moisture, how they change up formulas.
When a big company acquires a smaller brand for African American hair, the formula now becomes a general formula that I guess everybody can use. And they're never the same. Products always change.
What made you ultimately do the deal with P&G?
We knew that because our company had grown and scaled to new heights, but we also knew and understood that people still don't have access to high quality products. And my goal from the beginning was for Mayel to be a global beauty brand and community. In this partnership, an additional $20 million from myself, Melvin, and P&G is going to Mayel Cares so we can help further and advance Black and brown communities.
Always tapped in with her customers, Monique says she hears their concerns.
Melvin and I will still continue to lead Mayel. We are still here. We are still CEO, COO of the company. Mayel is an independent subsidiary under Procter & Gamble, right? So the same brand and the same products that our consumers expect today, they can expect those same products tomorrow on the shelf.
Val Warner, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Incredible success story.
I know, a really success story. And I will tell you, she was a nurse before she started making these products, and that's how she knows the chemistry and the ingredients that go into making a product that she needed, where she could find on the store. So you can't find it yourself, and it's very successul, and the products are nice.
Nice. I want to make another observation. Everyone in that piece, including Val, had terrific hair.
Right.
I'm serious. Like their products.
So they're walking advertisement. Is that what we're calling it? Yeah. They look fantastic, and that is a wonderful couple. They are just a wonderful, beautiful family, 2 daughters, and they really are involved like every day. So kudos to them and congratulations.
Definitely.
They've done well. And we want to invite you to watch our special this weekend. It is called Our Chicago Spirit Perseverance. Jose Sanders and I will be hosting. It airs tomorrow, everybody. Yes, at 6 o'clock over on ABC 7 with an encore presentation. That takes place at 11 o'clock on Sunday night if you miss it tomorrow night. But set your DVRs because it really is a phenomenal show. We've been talking about it all week long. Everybody who is featured in that show has an extraordinary story and a testimony.
Finally get to see it. We've been talking about it for so
excited.
long. I look forward to it. The Jonas Brothers are releasing a new album.
Okay, we like that. And ahead, the special concert series they have planned. Yeah, before one comes out.
Some young man, getting old now. Plus, the schedule for Harry Styles' tour means he has to take part in something he probably did not expect.
Ooh, that's a good tease, right?
We'll be right back.
Harry Styles will be required to take part in the 2023 census in New Zealand.
This is odd.
Okay.
It's because he has a concert. The country census is done every 5 years, and this year it takes place on March 7th. Everyone in the country is required to take part, even if you're visiting from another country. People have to fill out a form answering personal questions. The answers are supposed to be confidential, and if you don't participate, you could be fined.
How did someone find that out about him?
This is what we random facts. That
Random
we find
facts.
on the show.
Because he's gonna
Michelle
be
finds
there.
These, yeah. Oh wait, she's telling us. Oh, they tweeted. The
They
Census
tweeted.
Bureau did of New Zealand.
They're like, what celebrities are visiting during this? We want to count them.
Yeah, something that's smart actually.
Yeah.
It's Harry Styles, you
Everybody's
know.
talking about the census.
Right, that means it's kind of forcing him to fill it out because it's
While you're
already
here.
being
While
talked
you're here,
about.
help us out.
I was just looking at video before we came on today of him performing on America's Got Talent or American Idol.
Way
and
back.
Simon Cowell, right? He was on the show, and Simon Cowell, you know, put together One Direction based on all the young men who performed on the show.
Didn't know that.
And yeah, that's how they got started.
With Simon Cowell.
Right. They performed solo on American Idol, and then he put them together as a group.
Oh.
Yeah, and then of course,
that
you know.
too, it seems like. Yeah.
I really don't know the history. I know that he started that way,
Right,
but
that's how he
it's a
started.
whole how everyone came together.
I mentioned the Jonas Brothers are getting old, and you guys got mad at me in the break. Do I need to
'Cause they're
apologize?
not.
Yeah,
Well, they're much younger than all of us.
They're
Well,
just,
most
yeah,
of us,
they're in their.
They're 35.
I know.
What?
Yeah.
So is that before you go on?
Now you're in trouble with me.
Is that old or young? I don't know where to go with this one.
Oh, they're
We're just going to go on with the story.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
good
let's
call.
do that
Right.
because the Jonas Brothers are headed to Broadway, baby.
Woo!
But don't look for them to be in the musical. They announced 5 concerts at the Marquee Theater. Each night will focus on a different album.
Cool.
That's interesting.
So fun.
With the last night centered around the album, which is set to come out in May.
The album.
So the concert series is March 14th through the 18th. So you go based on the album you like?
Yeah, right.
I mean, or
maybe
do
you
you
won't
go
even
every
know.
night? You go
You gotta
every
see them all.
night. Right. See, that's great marketing.
There's a nickname for
Right there.
the fans. Michelle, what were they? The
Jonatics.
The Jonatics.
Right. And they are calling, yes. Rob Elgus.
I
yes,
think
he's
they're
sitting
great.
here.
For the record, I think they're awesome.
Yeah, they have great music.
They
Name
got-
one song.
And they,
Name one song.
the one Jonas Brothers is more popular than the others. I know that,
If
right?
you heard one of their songs, you would know.
Thank you for bailing me out.
Because I'm really bad at doing that on the fly as well.
Right, yeah.
I
But
know-
Watermelon Sugar is their song, right?
No, that's Harry
Harry
Styles.
Styles.
See, I mix
Oh
them
my
up. I mix them up.
Oh my gosh.
But I also
No,
do
that's-
that all of the time
That's
too.
just Harry
yeah,
Styles.
no,
all
I
day.
Okay, Cheryl,
No.
give us a song you know.
No, I'm just testing.
Oh, I don't know.
guys.
Oh, God, none of us?
Michelle, give me a song I can tell
Yeah.
the people. Do we know?
They're the most recent one. What is it? Seduction. That they came back to do it together.
Right.
So Jealousy or Jealous
And
is
the one had a big career. He spun off.
Right.
And has been more popular than the others, but I don't know which one he is.
Yeah.
Only Human is a recent one.
Come on up, yeah, for you.
Okay, yeah. Wow.
Oh, that is a.
See, they make fun of my singing,
We're
so
on
I'm not
fire
going to help
tonight.
them out. Okay.
Not everyone makes fun of your singing. It was that.
Yeah, that's a good
air
good
guitar.
catchy song.
Phil
Right.
makes fun of her
I'm
singing.
clearly way more into Harry Styles, I guess.
Right. Phil is gone. No one is going to make fun of your singing.
What you got?
Right.
Okay.
So maybe no, I'm kidding. We're almost out of time on this Friday, and
Kinda
we have
early still, but
we have a good.
yeah.
We still have
Go ahead. No,
what trouble are we
go
going to
ahead,
get
Cheryl.
Yeah. Oh wait, yeah, because we want to give her weather. She's going to do the weather.
Right, because it's great.
We do usually talk till like 56, and then
No, usually
yeah.
54.
Right. Okay.
in? Oh, we have a few more seconds. So is Harry still with his girlfriend, or did they officially break up?
don't know.
They broke
He's
up.
solo right now. He's solo. Go ahead and go to England on vacation, Joe.
Hilarious.
Because he was asking about you. I remember last time he was
Totally.
here at the United Center.
I'm sure he wants to know the weather forecast for all of his live performances.
Right.
I got
Get
you
that New
covered.
Zealand forecast, Cheryl. Because
He's
it might be
29.
outdoor.
Although New Zealand is on my bucket list, I'm not
Yes.
gonna lie.
And it's hot there right now because they're opposite of us here in
Correct.
America. So.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Vacation coming up. Yep.
need
The
a
book is
vacation.
over next Wednesday.
29 years young, Harry is. You'll be robbing the
Be a
cradle.
sucker for you.
Stop.
Okay, weather. Here we go. It's looking beautiful, and And I thought it was going to be 29 degrees. It's 26. Winds out of the east at about 5 to 10 miles per hour, creating that wind chill of 17. That's what it feels like. It's been a frigid day across the area. Here's across in the mid-upper. They're not drop as we head into the evening, but we would see a few snowflakes drop across the area. Some very light snow, some light flurries here possible. This is a weak disturbance that's rolling on through. You can see south of Chicago, that band there of Naperville, right around Joliet along I-80, crossing over 57, painting some very light moisture that's falling, and we could find just a few light flurries, a light dusting of snow as we go into the evening. This is a weak disturbance here that will continue to work its way through and out by about 1, 2 in the morning. We clear it out overnight. Tomorrow morning we wake up mostly clear skies. Our temps already near 30 degrees, and then we continue to climb to near 40. And that snow threat tonight, like I said, just a dusting in a few isolated spots. Some slick spots possible, but mainly dry conditions across much of the region. Really not looking for this to be an impactful system if you're hitting the roads tonight. We turn up those temps into the day tomorrow. We climb into the mid 40s, and over the next couple of days, I think you're going to enjoy the forecast, especially for your week. Above average Saturday, Monday, highs near 50 degrees. We're going even warmer on Monday, and that's when the next storm system rolls in. That's going to tap in to some warmth down to the south, some Gulf moisture as well. So it's going to be a wet and soggy Monday, so plan accordingly. Enjoy your weekend. Put Monday in the rear view, but when you go to bed Sunday night, give yourself some extra time heading out the door, because this system is really going to impact the morning commute. Rain starts to overspread the region between about 4 and 6 a.m. It continues with heavy, steady rain, even a few rumbles of thunder possible early Monday. As we head into the afternoon, the heaviest of the precipitation will lift out by the evening commute, but also some very gusty winds in the forecast for Monday as well. So that's the storm system that we're monitoring, and it's going to bring us a decent amount of rainfall, anywhere from 1 inch to 1.5 inches. So an impactful system here because we've been rather wet in terms of precipitation and rainfall, above average, and also the grounds are saturated. So expect that heavy rain following Monday, and then into the late morning. Minor flooding not out of the question. Possibility there. Rainfall 1 to 1.5 inches, ponding on area roads and highways, and also monitoring our river levels that are continuing to rise. So low-lying flood-prone areas we're going to continue to watch for, and windy weather with gusts upwards of 35 to 40 miles per hour expected early Monday. The rain tapers and those winds will subside as we head into Monday night. Other side of the country on the West Coast, a powerful storm system here with very heavy rain and that snow falling and flying in the higher elevations, but reaching levels as low as 1,500 feet. Hollywood Hills sign seeing some snow and a light dusting. The first time many of these areas and counties have had snow and winter alerts in place for a very long time. So as we take a look here at that radar, that's continuing to spiral in that rain and the snow along the West Coast with those watches and warnings in place. Tonight we're looking pretty quiet other than a few flurries. We dry out the weekend Monday, that storm system moving in, and we'll have more for you coming up in a little bit. Back to you, or we'll be right back.
Look at this video from a supermarket in Wales. Horse walking through the store. Shoppers were shocked eventually. Security walked the animal out. There was a huge cleanup in aisle 3. I made that part up.
Okay. He worked on that
Thank
all
you for laughing at
day.
my jokes all day.
All right. We'll see you at 10 over at ABC 7. Have a great weekend.